Have you been considering purchasing a used EV, and is now the right time?
Market watch time.
It has been a while since I've done one of these market watch videos, and the main reason is I'm not personally in the market. But with some changes that are possibly coming up, this would be a good time to do it. We're filming this on the 8th of December, and this video should come out on the 14th of December. So if you're looking for a used EV, this information will still be valid for a couple of weeks at least. And I will have to underscore, I'm not into finance at all, not necessarily a car expert. I'm just telling you what's out there. So here's where we're at. Right now in the calendar year of 2024, there is a used EV tax credit available from the federal government of as much as $4,000 on the price of the car. Now, it would be less if the car's not expensive enough. It's a percentage of the car's selling price, or $4,000, whichever is higher. Now, with the incoming presidential administration and the incoming Congress, will that EV tax credit be around for much longer? I don't know, but what I do know is it's around right now, and you can take advantage of it right now. So I wanted to take a look at the used EVs that are currently on the market. Did some research yesterday and got together a list. So Rachel, what are some of the advantages for someone to look into a used electric vehicle?
The great thing about the used ones is always that they're a lot less expensive. That's true for almost any car, but especially for EVs, it seems like they don't have a lot of, they just don't retain their value, which is kind of bad if you think of your car as an investment, but it's not. And it's better. If you're going to buy a used one, you're definitely going to get a better value for your money.
One of the comments that I'll get from people frequently about how much we like EVs and appreciate them is, oh, but the depreciation is so big. Well, with a used EV, someone else has already taken the hit on the depreciation. It's the same with any used car. So this kind of takes that a little bit out of the equation. We own 4 electric vehicles, and 3 of them we purchased used, and we have had good experience with our used EVs. What would you say our experience has been?
Yeah, absolutely. Our Fiat we bought used, and even though it's old technology and it doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles that the newer EVs have, I still really love driving it. And of course, it was inexpensive, which was the most important thing. It's very cute, and it doesn't cost a lot to operate. So I love that. The Bolt we bought brand new, but the motorcycle and the Tesla were used, and they both operate like brand new vehicles. We have no problem, and the price was right for sure.
Our Bolt now has over 40,000 miles on it. It still behaves like a new car. We purchased this Model 3 with 57,000 miles on it. I just pulled up the trip. We've put on 22,533 miles in the 10 months that we've owned it. So we drive this car a lot, and it still behaves like it's new.
Yeah.
And so that's another one of the good things is they don't require much maintenance, and so it's less moving parts. So as long as you have a decent amount of coverage, you're fine. So let me tell you about the search that I came up with. There were some criteria that I put into it. First off, I only wanted to look at the newest possible model year that this tax credit could be claimed on, and that's model year 2022. So the cars that I looked at are only in the 2022 model year. Can you find better deals on older EVs? Absolutely you can. That will make this video far too long. So I'm only focusing on the one model year, and if you want to look at older ones, feel free. I went to cars.com, which has been my default every time that I've done these Market Watch videos before, as my resource for gathering the information. I'm not affiliated with any of these car dealerships. I'm not telling you which car dealership to go to or recommending anyone. I'm just telling you what's out there. So within the 2022 model year, I capped the price at $25,000. That is the maximum price that the EV can sell for, and you can still claim the tax credit. Additionally, I capped the mileage at 80,000 miles. I didn't want to look at anything that was over 80,000 miles because with that, you still have about 20,000 miles of manufacturer warranty on the battery and drivetrain of most, if not all, EVs, and some EVs might have a little bit more. But that way you still have some manufacturer warranty on the things that people would be legitimately concerned about, because they're not cheap fixes. So you still have some more. Some of these have extraordinarily low miles, and some are right up at that 80,000 mile threshold. Every vehicle that I found in terms of its make and model had varying trim levels, and so of course they got really close to that. They all have a max that's really close to that $25,000, but some of them are pretty low. The last filter that I included was I only looked at vehicles with clean titles, because if you want to deal with bonded titles and salvage titles, good for you. That's not something that I personally like the thought of doing, but so I filtered out anything that did not have a clean title. And finally, the tax credit can only be claimed if you purchase from a dealer, so these are only units that are offered from car dealers. So shall we get into the vehicles that are available?
What'd you find?
I found that there were, I think it's 17 different models of car from 12 different manufacturers. However, there are 713 cars available nationwide on cars.com as of yesterday, which would be December 7th, 2024, that fit all of those filters, 713 units, and 81% of them boiled down to 5 models. So these are the ones that I would consider plentiful. That would be the Chevy Bolt EV, the Chevy Bolt EUV, the Nissan Leaf, the Kia Niro EV, and the Tesla Model 3. These are the 5 models that you shouldn't have a hard time finding, but I'm going to break down all 17 of the models just in case you're really specific and you just want to know what's available out there. So I'm going to go in order of the lowest price that I found. And the lowest price that I found was for a Nissan Leaf. Now the Nissan Leaf, I found 114 Nissan Leafs 2022 that fit the price and mileage restrictions that I put on it. The cheapest one, $11,491, and the mileage range that I found on these Leafs go from as low as 4,573 miles and as high as 55,989. Is that 4,500 mile Leaf going to be the one that's 11,491? No, but it's in the middle. One of the things that I found is that the low, super low mileage units were not always the most expensive. Next on the list was something that we're quite familiar with, the Chevy Bolt EV. Did I say that there were 114 Leafs available?
Yeah.
I want to make sure I said
You did say
114 Leafs available. Chevy Bolt EV, there are 53 of them. And the least expensive one that I found was $12,500. Now, that very inexpensive Leaf and that very inexpensive Bolt, they're not going to get the full $4,000 because they don't cost enough to have $4,000 be it's greater than the percentage of the selling price.
Right.
They don't quite go all the way to $25,000. Most expensive Chevy Bolt EV I found was $22,750. They range in miles on the odometer from 9,131 all the way up to 79,960. So, I mean, here you can still get a Bolt that's got a little bit left of its full bumper-to-bumper warranty and a whole lot of time left on its battery and powertrain warranty. Then we go into one that's a little rarer to find, and that is something that would be similar to your Fiat 500, the Mini Cooper S. The Mini Cooper SE hardtop, I found 27 of them nationwide. So if you're really wanting that Mini, it's going to be harder to find, and you may have to find a dealer that ships if you want to do it. But I found them as low as $14,500. The miles range from as low as 3,102 miles up to 49,507 miles. This is going to be a small, easy to drive, kind of a fun little EV.
They're cute. They have a very specific styling to them. Pretty small back seat. So it's great if you drive it mostly by yourself with just one passenger, or if you have small kids.
I wouldn't recommend putting an adult in the back seat.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the greatest range. It's just a little over 100 miles of range. I don't know the exact number, but I know it doesn't get 200 miles of range. It's under that. So it's more of a city commuter car, but it's going to be nice and it's going to be fun. Then we get back to the ones that are a little easier to find. The Kia Niro EV. Found 129 of them. The lowest price at $15,900. Mileage on those ranging from 5,737 to 72,277. And then we get back to the Chevys and the cousin to the Chevy Bolt EV, the Chevy Bolt EUV. Now this was the most plentiful unit out there. There were 165 of these available used in the 2022 model year. The lowest price was $15,998, and there was one of these Bolt EUVs that had 1,086 miles on it.
Wow.
That is essentially a new car.
Yeah.
And no, it was not the one that was $15,998, but it was under $25,000. Mm-hmm. With 1,000 miles on it.
That's
you can
crazy.
find new cars on dealer lots that have more miles than that.
And those Bolt EUVs are very popular. People who have them love them. We love our Bolt EV quite a lot, but there are a lot of people that got the EUV version and love it just as much. They're very, very popular.
Now, the full range on the EUVs went up to 72,591 miles. So yeah, you're going to find some higher mileage units out there, and there's a lot of different trim levels with the 1LT, the 2LT, I think the Premier, but all the way up to the top of the line, you're going to have a varying amount of trim, and that's where the trim level difference is going to be the major difference in price rather than the miles. Then we get into some that were a little harder to find. The cousin to the Kia Niro, that is the Hyundai Kona EV. There are only 31 of those available. You may have to look a little bit harder. Best price I found was $17,400. Mileage range 13,555 up to 36,921. I didn't even know that this next one existed, so I learned something new. But there's a Kia Sportage that's an EV, the Kia Sportage EX.
Who knew?
And in 2022, and there are 17 of them out there available with the prices as low as $17,495.
Wow.
Mileage range from 14,862 to 66,303. Then an EV that doesn't have necessarily the best reputation, the Mazda MX-30. There are only 7 of those. So if you really want one, you're going to have to look hard for it. The lowest price I found was $17,500. Mileage range from 13,067 up to 29,995. Those there's only 7 of them, but none of them are going to have more than 30,000 miles on them.
Nice.
Then we get to the vehicle we're in. The last one that is plentiful, and that would be the Tesla Model 3. There are currently 116 Tesla Model 3s listed on cars.com that are model year 2022 with less than 80,000 miles on them.
Very nice.
The best price that I found was $18,999.
Okay.
They go up to 25, but there's one of these Model 3s in that price range that only has 4,526 miles on it. And of course, they're going to go right up to the 80,000 mark. Mm-hmm. High mile that I found was 79,973. But I mean, if there's a Tesla Model 3 for under $25,000, a 2022 with 4,500 miles on it.
That's a bargain, you guys, if you can find it.
Big time. And I can tell you all kinds of things about our Model 3. We've got a lot of videos on it out there. I would recommend that car.
We like ours.
Really like mine.
Yeah.
Then we come down to the Kia EV6. There are some out there, Kia EV6s that are out there under $25,000. There's just not very many of them. I only found 7. The lowest price one was $19,990, and this goes into the trim level. It's the light trim. But mileage as low as 17,195 miles, as high as 68,082. Then one that I thought I would find more of in this price range, but I was surprised at the number being so small. The Volkswagen ID4. I only found 12 of them.
Interesting.
Now there are some that are rear-wheel drive only, and there were a couple that were all-wheel drive ID4s in this price range. But only found 12. The lowest price, $20,495. Mileage range, 16,435 miles to 49,656. Then one that I think is just a really good bargain, and because the resale value on this next car is really bad. The Polestar 2. Polestar 2 is somewhere in the neighborhood of a $60,000 car if you buy it new. And they have hardly any resale value. There are 11 of them out there under $25,000. There's the lowest price was $20,995. This is a car that was $60,000 when it was new 2 to 3 years ago.
That's crazy.
And with miles as low as 8,454.
Golly.
So if you look at a Polestar 2, a potentially $60,000 car with less than 9,000 miles on it for under $25,000 now.
Talk about a bargain.
You don't have to worry about the depreciation. Somebody else already took that hit.
Yeah.
So it's there. The Polestar 2 is a very capable car. It's quick. It's comfortable. I'm a little too big for it with my legs. It's got this huge center console that just kind of cramps me in. But mileage range on that, 88,454 up to 65,404. And now we're getting into the ones that are really hard to find. The remaining 5 models, are in the single digits available across the country. So if you really want these, you got to hunt for them. We've got the Volvo C40 Recharge. There are 3 of them nationwide.
Wow.
Lowest price, $21,093. Mileage range, 60,015 up to 72,672. Hyundai Ioniq 5, by all accounts, a great car. Everybody that I know that has an Ioniq 5 and other YouTubers that post of them love their Ioniq 5s. Same with the EV6. But there are 9 Ioniq 5s out there in this price range, with the lowest price being $21,951, with mileage ranging from 18,904 to 79,898. Tesla Model Y. There are 3 that are under $25,000 that are the 2022 model year, under 80,000 miles.
Wow.
If you go with a 2021 Model Y, or you willing to go over 100,000 miles, you'll find more of them. But there are 3 that fit my criteria. Lowest price, $22,795. Mileage range goes from 41,702 to 65,842, and that lowest price one was the one that's in the middle.
Okay.
The Ford Mustang Mach-e. There are 8.
Wow.
And again, I know the people that I know that have Mach-e's absolutely love them, so good car. Lowest price, $23,499. Mileage ranging from 24,638 to 68,522. And then finally, if you want this car, you're going to have to get it quick, because there's only one that in the entire country that matches this criteria, and that's the Audi e-tron.
Okay.
There's one of them.
All right.
It's 24,997, and it has 75,795 miles on it.
Wow.
But it would qualify for that tax credit.
Is that an all-wheel drive?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, the Audis usually are.
But so that's it. Those are the 713 cars right now as of December 7th, 2024, that were available on cars.com that are electric, eligible for the tax credit. If you are single income tax filer with an income under $75,000, or a married couple with an income under $150,000, you can qualify for that tax credit. If the car dealership is not currently set up to apply the tax credit at the time of purchase, that's okay. It's December. You're going to be filing your taxes in a couple of months anyway. E-filed, you'll get the return, and refinance the car then if you want to, or use that money for whatever. Or you can get it applied to the at the time of purchase. If the car dealership says, we don't do anything related to that tax credit, we're not going to give you the paperwork or anything, don't buy the car from them.
Yeah.
Buy the car from somebody else.
Yeah.
That's the only recommendation that I would have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's December. Car lots traditionally don't do well in December.
Which means that they're more likely to discount cars, more likely to haggle with you, more likely to give you extra incentives to buy the car in December rather than waiting until January.
Because it's gift giving time, and cars as a Christmas present is not usually something that happens.
Yeah.
So it might be a Christmas present to yourself, especially that week in between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So
best time to buy a car in the whole year.
Especially if and a lot of these dealerships will deliver anywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
So you can go online, see which ones you like, especially if you don't mind purchasing a car sight unseen.
Yeah.
And just getting it delivered to you. But again, look at how many miles are on it, and judge how much warranty is left. If there's stuff wrong and you can get it fixed for free to turn that thing into like new, I don't see why not. So hopefully you found this video informative. I tried to cram a lot, and I've already gone over 20 minutes. So sorry about the length of it, but it was a lot of information that I wanted to share and I wanted to get out. And we don't know if this tax credit's going to be around much longer. We don't know if that tax credit goes away, what it will do to the used EV market. But these are where the prices are now with the tax credit available. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have purchased a used EV, tell us your stories about them in the comments. That'd be great to hear.
Yeah.
Subscribe for more content. We'll have some more stuff coming up. We'll have reviews about the new software update that everybody's talking about. I didn't want to put that one out now. I missed the opportunity to be the first one, so might as well just take my time and get it right. So anything else you want to add?
Used EVs are a great bargain, you guys. If you're in the market for a new car and you've been thinking about getting an EV, I would definitely recommend looking at these used EVs. I think it's a great idea.
Thanks, y'all.